Rob Thompson from Calhoun High School in Calhoun, Georgia.
And I'm Amber Phelps. I'm from Baltimore City College in Baltimore, Maryland.
And we're participants with the Teaching Shakespeare Institute here this summer of 2012 in the Folger Shakespeare Library in Washington, D.C.
Today we're going to be talking about an activity found in the Teaching Shakespeare Toolkit that can be found handy-dandy on the flash drive that is in your toolkit, and it is called Finding the Voices in a Soliloquy. It was developed by Chris Renino of Scarsdale High School.
This activity is called Finding the Voices in a Soliloquy, and the purpose of it is to identify the conflicting feelings and ideas that a character has in a Shakespearean soliloquy. The first step, there are 7 steps, and it's really very simple. The first step is to have your students stand in a circle in the room, and you'll distribute copies of the soliloquy to the students.
Second, you're going to ask one student to begin reading aloud from the beginning of the passage until he or she encounters a full stop. So that's a period, a semicolon, a question mark, or an exclamation point. So after the full stop, the next student reads until the next full stop, and so on around the circle.
This third step is the exact same thing, but it's involving 2 particular students, 2 volunteers or 2 students who you choose, who will stand in the center of the circle and do the same thing. They will alternate reading the passage until they get to a full stop, a period, or whatever.
Number 4, you're going to pause to discuss the meaning of the lines and the conflicting emotions that the character have. So you're going to think about relationships that the character has with other characters.
Divide the students into 2 groups and 2 different courses, and again they will alternate reading the text, stopping at the periods and whatever full stops come their way. But the trick is they will grow in volume. They will get louder and louder, increasing their passion and their energy as they read until by the end they're shouting at each other.
Then you're going to select one character to play. Most Shakespearean soliloquies and monologues involve some sort of internal conflict. You're going to select one student to play the character who is performing the monologue. You're going to have her practice while the rest of the class works on step 5. Then you're going to instruct the class to mill around the room in random patterns, not in straight lines, and have that character try to make eye contact with them. She can even touch them, she can try to speak to them. However, they are to turn away each time she approaches them to make sure that we physicalize the internal conflict.
And the final step, number 7, is after this is all over, you will discuss with your students the discoveries they have made about the character and maybe even about themselves. Okay.
Alright, so let's talk about standards. So there are a few Common Core standards that can be aptly applied to this particular activity. 6 through 12, citing textual evidence. Reading standards 6 through 12.3, analyzing how complex characters develop over a text. Reading standards 6 through 12.4, analyzing connotative meanings and the impact of diction on meaning and tone. And speaking and listening, point 1, collaborative discussions, and also speaking and listening, point 4, presenting claims and findings.
Finally, we wanted to mention that this project can be used with any number of texts. It can be used, of course, with any Shakespeare soliloquy in Hamlet or King Lear or any Shakespeare play. Also, any novel that features a long speech or dialogue. I thought of the Tom Joad passage, maybe his speech at the end of Grapes of Wrath. Any speech or passage where you want to get to know a character and you're inside the character's head, this is a great activity. So we thank you for watching. We hope you have great luck with this activity. And this is Amber and Rob signing off from the Folger Shakespeare Library.